Hi, welcome to Chapter 3. We're going to look at 3.1 today, paired data and graphing ordered pairs. So this section is really pretty short. We just have a couple of things we have to look at. And usually it goes very, very well for people. But let's get some basics on the board here first. And then we'll look at some examples of graphing ordered pairs. So an ordered pair is something like 2, 7 in a set of parentheses. Okay, the first number in that ordered pair is our x-coordinate, and the second number, in this case the 7, is our y-coordinate. Please note, that is alphabetical. Okay, so it really does go x and then y every single time. It is alphabetical, so please try very hard. Don't get them mixed up. It's an easy mistake to make. Lots of people do it, but I'm pretty sure you'd rather not do that. So be careful. All right, we're going to start putting ordered pairs onto what's called a coordinate plane. And we'll see that on the next board, but first, here's a basic coordinate plane and some labels on it that we need to know. So what I have is I have two number lines. The horizontal one we're going to call the x-axis, and the vertical one will be the y-axis. Okay, that's always the way that is. As long as we're working with x and y, those will always be the x and y axes. Going around, our graph is split into 4 regions. Quadrant 1 is in the upper right, 2, 3, and 4. And the reason that this one is quadrant 1 is because on the x-axis, your positive numbers are out to the right. And on the y-axis, your positive numbers will be going up. So in the first quadrant, all of the numbers in our ordered pairs will be positive. And from there, we just go counterclockwise, 2, 3, and 4. The last thing of real interest here is the very middle of the graph where the two number lines intersect. And that is called the origin. And that's going to be useful here in just a minute when we start graphing some ordered pairs on the next board. So let me clear this board and get a new one up for you. Okay, so I'm ready to start graphing some ordered pairs. I have 3 of them that I want to do for us. Basically, if you can count, you can do this. This is really, really nice. So let's look, I have 3 of them. Let's look first at my point A, which is the ordered pair 3, -2. Now remember, the first number is an x value, the second number is a y value. So here's how this works. You can think of it a couple of ways, but the way that I usually teach it is to say, all right, we're going to start at the origin, and then we're just going to follow the directions to our point. So we have 2 directions for every 1 point that we put on the graph. So for A, if I start at the origin, since I have a positive 3 for x, I'm going to go right 3 units. And then since I have a -2 for y, from the end of that, I'm going to go down 2, and it gives me 1 point. And so over here is 3, -2, and that's point A. Now I can do the same thing for B. B has a -2 for x, so I'm going to go left 2 units. But notice that its y value is 0. Because the y value is 0, that means I don't go up or down. I just stay put right there on the x-axis this time, and that's point B. Finally, I have point C, 1, 4. So I go right 1, I go up 4, and we get a point C. And you know what, while we're at it, let's do one more point, just because this will be great fun. Let's do D is -2, +3/2. All right, so maybe at this point you're like, hey, I got the -2, that's easy, I go left 2 units. But what do I do with that fraction? Well, I'm glad you asked. If you have a calculator, what I would suggest is just type that into your calculator, 3 divided by 2. Get the decimal version, because all we're going to do is, and this decimal is 1.5. 1.5 is in between 1 and 2. So we're just going to put this point such that the y value is in between 1 and 2. So I go left 2, I go up 1 and about 1/2, and we try and get it close to 1 1/2. But you know, we're not pulling out rulers to measure exactly that your dot is exactly halfway in between. So there you go. That's graphing ordered pairs, and that's it for section 3.1. So definitely enjoy this one. Bye.